pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media. Tonight we have the Racers Elite Xfinity Series here in Bristol, Tennessee to take on the half mile at Bristol. I am Mike Taboni up in the booth. These guys have been practicing. A lot of the guys have put in over 100 laps or so, and the times are relatively close. So it looks like we're going to be in for some good fast racing here. Daniel Honeycutt leads the board in practice, but last week's winner Trevor McManus and his dominating win at Nashville led 116 laps, wind up bringing home the victory with about a 14 and a half second lead over Andrew Teff. Daniel Honeycutt back in third. We'll see if things change this week. Looking at the points, Daniel Honeycutt is leading the points with 375. Andrew Teff not too far behind with 371. Puffenbarger with 358. Trevor McManus is down in ninth. He's only competed in 6 races, but of those 6 races, he's won 5. So definitely a guy to look out for. They are going to make the cut down to the 12 here, I believe, in a couple weeks. So that is where we're at. As we get ready to go into qualifying, we'll see who gets out on track first. Looks like Lee Campbell is making his way through his first lap here. 15:48. Fastest lap in practice was Honeycutt with a 15:04. We'll see how that stacks up. Coming back to the start finish line, these laps are going to go quick, fast, and in a hurry. A little bit slower that time by Dennis Kane, 15:55, as you see on the board on his first lap. We'll see if the second lap's any faster here. Isn't going to be with that happening. Jarrett Larder, first lap of 15:62. We'll see if he can carry it through lap number 2 here. $15.44, so good enough for a provisional pole at the moment. Joshua Neal getting rolling here in that 82 Chevy. First lap for Neal. Didn't count it for some reason. There we go. 15:59. That was his first lap. The other one was his out lap. That's why. $15.65 that time, so not quite fast enough. McManus working on his out lap here. $15.14. Second lap. See if he can fire it any faster here. Like he slides up the racetrack just a little bit, going to bring it down and say that is good enough. So 15:14 for him. Matthew Jarrett going to complete his first lap here. 15:29, good enough for P2 right at the moment. Like I said, these laps are quick, fast, and in a hurry. Everybody running sub 16-second lap times here. Jarrett goes a little bit slower that time. Troy Crowell, last night in the Truck Series, tried a different pit strategy to try and bring home the W. Just didn't quite get it done, as he didn't have enough speed in that rig. That time by 15:63 for his second lap. Dallas Teague, first lap in 15:60. We'll see if this second lap's going to be any faster here. Sliding up the racetrack. So definitely, probably not going to be any faster. Probably going to be about the same. Yep, 15:61. Kinsley Smith. Well, let's jump to Daniel Honeycutt. Daniel Honeycutt just crossed the start-finish line on his lap 1. 15:07. Pole position for the moment. I said he was the fastest car in practice. Figured out where he was going to run, and that is what he did. Gets loose there, so that lap's not going to count, but 15:07 is good enough for pole. Kinsley Smith, as we jumped away from him, he went 15:34. We'll see if the second lap's any faster. And it is not. Kirby Wainscott a 15:51. Brandon Puffenbarger just rolling off pit lane. First lap for Puffenbarger, 15:38. Slid up the track trying to get all that speed out of that number 5 Chevy here. I don't know if he's going to have enough to jump up towards the pole, but P3 right now, 15:23. 3 drivers left to have a spin at the track. Matthew Jarrett still logging laps, trying to get some practice in. Joined late in the session. Didn't quite get enough practice. Daniel Honeycutt and Trevor McManus both ran over 120 laps. So they are definitely have the practice. We are in for 195 laps, 4 sets of tires in the pit stalls, 65% fuel. Looks like Alex Teft is sitting at the end of pit lane. We'll see if he has that 43 Affleck Ford ready to roll. Down the backstretch he goes. See what speed he gets out of this 43 machine here. And it cuts the corner and winds up 3/4 up the track. 15:58. We'll see if that is going to be good enough for 10th right now. Alex completed his second lap, 15:28. Good enough for 4th now. Andrew Teft out on track. First lap of 15:29. We'll see if he can go any faster this time by. And he does, 15:24. So jumps just in front of brother Alex there. This 98 Ford is starting row 2. Only one driver left. As I said, Matthew Jarrett out turning laps here. So 14 drivers have made a qualifying effort. Pole position is a 15:07. 14th is a 15:63. So from top to bottom is just over half a second. And the top 4 are under 2/10. We'll see how that plays out on the track once we get going here. Bring this down and take a look at Bristol. It is just over a half-mile track. Track temperature 79 degrees, air 77. Not too much moisture, a little cloud cover, so should be a good race. Not even hardly any wind for them to contend with either. Got about 30 seconds left here in the qualifying session. Bristol is banked at 24 to 28 degrees in the corners, 5 to 9 down the front stretch, 4 to 8 in the back stretch. We're talking about these guys running 15 second lap times. The fastest lap ever recorded at Bristol on the concrete oval surface was 12.742 back in 2011 by Must See Racing Extreme Speed Contest, Brian Erster. They should be getting set for the grid. We can just brought up here. There we go. So Daniel Honeycutt is going to lead them to the green flag. Daniel's going to try and have something here for Trevor McManus. See if let the rest of these guys jump into their cars. Looks like we're waiting on McManus. There we go. Trevor McManus starts to the outside. Brandon Puffenbarger and Andrew Teft, row 2. Row 3, Alex Teft and Matthew Jarrett. We go back to Kinsley Smith and Jarrett Larder. Larder from a little north of the border there. Lee Campbell. Kirby Wayne Scott from Sparta. Dennis Kane. And Joshua Neal in row 6. Row 7 is Dallas Teague and Corey Crowell. And Scotty Davis didn't make a qualifying run, elected to start at the back of the pack, and that is where he will start. Pole winner Daniel Honeycutt's going to lead them to the green flag once we get going here. So 15 drivers of the Racers Elite Xfinity Series are ready to take on Bristol. One more lap to go as they are stacked and packed and ready to go. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting battle here with Honeycutt and McManus. Both were pretty fast last week. Andrew Teft had a little pit strategy and was going to try and close in there on McManus, but McManus pretty much drove away. Brandon Puffenbarger makes his return after missing a couple weeks. Alex Teft had a heck of a run last week until basically calamity struck. Jarrett Larder, Kinsley Smith, Lee Campbell. Pace car is in. Daniel Honeycutt gets the green flag, and we are underway here. Side by side through turn 1. Honeycutt down low. McManus up high. Still side by side going down the backstretch. McManus has a little bit of a run. We'll see if he's going to try and get down or if Honeycutt's going to slide up. And Honeycutt slides up behind McManus, and they are single file now. Alex Teft down to the inside of Larder. Side by side they roll through 1 and 2, still side by side. Larder almost up in the wall, slows down in front of Kinsley Smith. Kinsley is able to get his truck, or his car, slowed down just enough not to run over Larder, but now he's looking to the inside. Nothing doing at the moment. Trevor McManus is starting to get a little bit of a gap on Honeycutt, 0.3 of a second or so. Andrew Teft, fastest lap of the race with a 15:36. These guys are not pulling any punches right at the moment. Matthew Jarrett working inside outside, slips and is now down into the inside wall, spins up, and that is going to bring out the first caution here tonight on lap 5. Matthew Jarrett was running pretty good, and then all of a sudden he was sideways. Down the front stretch looks all right. It's a little bit of a run, slows down just a little bit. And I believe right here, about pit exit, he starts to slide up the track. No, not. Oh, there he goes, getting a little loose coming into the corner, and then just slides on up the racetrack and just can't get that car back underneath him there. We had 5 pretty contentious laps of racing here. Trevor McManus was able to get down in front of Daniel Honeycutt and lead those laps. Puffenbarger able to hang on to 3rd place. Andrew Teft 4th. Alex Teft hanging on to 5th. Jarrett Larder up 2 spots. Dennis Kane up 2. Joshua Neal up 2. Corey Crowell up 3. See if they're gonna Get the lights out on the pace car. Not yet, so we still have one more to go until we get that green flag run once again. While we have a minute, I want to thank everybody for joining us out in YouTube. If you guys want to chat, say who you're rooting for, say your favorite driver, I'll give them a little more screen time, or just want to talk about anything. I love engaging with the audience once they get on here and start chatting. So they're going to get stacked up. Trevor McManus down to the inside. Daniel Honeycutt's going to have that outside lane. Everybody else is pretty much where they were before as far as the first 3 rows. Garrett Larder inside the top 6 for the first time. Down the backstretch. Puffenbarger is staying right even there with McManus. Alex Teff not too far behind either. We'll see as this pace car gets ready to pull in who is going to have that massive run. McManus barely waits till he's straight, and he is all over that loud pedal. Gets out to about a half-second lead already. Daniel Honeycutt has got to be looking to his inside as Puffenbarger had his nose down there for a little bit. Honeycutt does know pretty fast line around this track. Jared Larder down to the inside, going to try and pass Alex Teft. Larder restarted on the outside lane, but now has worked his way down to the inside and seems to like staying almost right on that white line. See if he's going to be able to get clear and slide up in front of Alex. He cannot. Kinsley Smith is hanging back there as well. Larder still has not been able to clear Alex for the moment. Looks like he might coming off of 4 here, and he does. Everybody else kind of back in a straight line. A little bit anyway. Joshua Neal bouncing inside outside as Corey Crawwell goes down to the inside. And Dallas Teague 15:28, fastest lap of the race in that 13 machine. Kirby Wayne Scott, Scotty Davis, Matthew Jarrett. But up front, it's going to be a battle between Honeycutt and McManus. We'll see who has the ability to bring home this win here, as these guys are all pushing really hard up front. Honeycutt slides up the track as he overdrove the corner just a little bit. McManus is managing that gap at just over a quarter of a second. Like I said, we are in for 195 laps. They do have 4 sets of tires in the pit lane. Take a look at some of the action on track. I think everybody's kind of spread out. There's kind of a battle back here between Kinsley Smith and Alex Teft. Lee Campbell not too far out the back as well. Alex is hanging up high. Kinsley Smith looking to try and get by on that low side. Down the front stretch they go. Still not working for the moment here. Like Smith got a little loose there and had to gather it back in. Offenbarger still hanging tough in P3 right now. Larder trying to close in. Burwell starting to get a run on Campbell. Campbell trying to get a run on Smith, but guys are all just kind of running about the same speed, just not quite enough to make any ground as Crowball goes up to the high side. We'll see if he's going to be able to get by Campbell. Campbell still hanging tough there for a little bit. Looked like he was going to try and slide up, but Dallas Teague is closing in as well up on that high line. Like Jarrett Larder almost got into that outside wall as Alex Teft is going to take advantage now down to his inside. Going to make that pass for Crowell trying to get around Kinsley Smith, but we are under caution once again as we saw Kirby Wainscott sideways. Let's take a look, see how that 10 machine got there. Oh, just into that outside wall. Okay. Like he's trying to feather the... just check that outside wall once again, and then goes right down to the inside. One of my favorite racing teams to watch in the Xfinity series. What happened here? Nothing, just slowing down. Down pit lane. So Andrew Teft hit pit lane, Dennis Kane and Kinsley Smith, Matthew Jarrett, and of course Kirby Wainscott. Could be an early strategy play here. Lights are out on the pace car. It won't go green this next time by. We are back under green flag conditions as Trevor McManus gets a huge jump once again. Daniel Honeycutt almost caught a little bit flat-footed, but hard to do anything about that as Trevor McManus basically goes as soon as his car gets straight. Looks like Jarrett Larder's down to the inside, going to try and get past Alex Teft once again, but Corey Crawwell is making that high line work. Crawwell clears Larder. Larder now having Campbell and Teague on his back bumper, depending on which side he goes to, as Teague almost gets into that outside wall. Teague and Campbell still top and bottom. Andrew Teft in that high side has Kinsley Smith in the high line behind him. Like Campbell and O'Neill down on the low line. Andrew Teft goes low, is going to try and get by Dallas Teague there, and he will light up in front of Teague and close the gap on Larder. Almost 3 wide there with Kinsley Smith, Larder, and Teft. Teft made pretty quick work. He started in, I'll say, 9th, and he's already back up to 6th position right now. Matthew Jarrett kind of floating towards the back as Larder goes off the wall and right in front of Dallas Teague, and that is going to take them out and bring out caution number 3 tonight. It looks all right now. I believe coming out of turn 4 here, I thought Larder got into the wall there. Well, yeah, he does. Bounces off the outside wall and comes down in front of Teague. And then pounces up on top of Teague as well. See him slide up the track here. Hit that outside wall. And then hit the inside wall. Go up over Dallas Teague there. And wind up on his lid. All right, let's see if we can get this back going here. There we go. And Jarrett Larder jumped to the pits there. It made us have a little issue there, and away we are. But up front, it's still Trevor McManus and Daniel Honeycutt. They have not pitted. Andrew Teft is up into 7th, pitted on lap 41. So he came down pit lane once again. Alex Teft pitted as well. Kinsley Smith came down. He came down on lap 29. And he is going to start row 2 high side right behind Honeycutt. So the drivers who have not pitted are Daniel Honeycutt, Trevor McManus, Brandon Puffenbarger, and Joshua Neal. Pace car is in. Starter has a flag in his hand, and we are underway once again. Trevor McManus gets a huge run off of that restart. Daniel Honeycutt back in second. Kinsley Smith, Puffenbarger side by side, battling for that third spot. Kinsley has a high side. He's going to take advantage and wound up P3. Joshua Neal down on the low side. Alex Teff gets sideways. Doesn't touch anyone else. It looks like it's just going to be Alex Teff almost all alone, as Kirby Wainscott also gets involved now late. That doesn't look too bad. And right here, it looks like he tries to slow down. Right here, and just gets sideways. Oh, the 19 does get into the 13, so Scotty Davis does get into Dallas Teague. So Dallas has got a little crumbled up there. Kirby Wainscott also got involved. Little gamesmanship there with Honeycutt and Trevor McManus. Honeycutt stays out. McManus goes down. So in pit lane now is Trevor McManus, Brandon Puffenbarger, Dallas Teague, Dennis Kane, Scotty Davis, Matthew Jarrett, all in pit lane. So right now, Honeycutt and Joshua Neal are the only ones who have not hit pit lane yet. Honeycutt has got to be pretty happy with staying out at the moment. As now Trevor McManus is back in 8th position. So Honeycutt will have the button. He will lead them to the restart here. As they complete lap 51 of 195. Honeycutt does the same thing, waits till his car gets about straight and is down and away. About to a little over a quarter of a second, but Kinsley Smith did not let off the gas pedal and is right on his back bumper. Kinsley Smith has to check up just a little bit to stay behind Honeycutt instead of running him over. Joshua Neal also had to check up just a little bit there, so now he gets behind Teft. Crowell and Campbell making some moves up the board. Trevor McManus pulls down to the inside of Campbell, gets sideways, saves it. We stay green. He goes to the back. Kinsley Smith into the outside wall just a little bit. Looked like he might have had a little bit too much speed coming out of turn 4 there. Lee Campbell, Joshua Neal battling quite a bit here. Neal gets up into the outside wall almost. Campbell's able to take advantage. Puffenbarger, after making his pit stop there on lap 48, is back in 7th, down to the inside of Neal. Like he's gonna get past. Alex Teft is closing in as well. Down to the inside. Trevor McManus going to try and make that pass once again. Gets loose. Slides around, but everybody's able to save it. Slowed down did Jarrett Larder there. But McManus needs to find the grip before he starts sliding back further. Andrew Teff made a pit stop on lap 41 and now is up into 2nd spot. Kinsley Smith back in 2nd, or back in 3rd. Crawwell up to 4th, up 10 spots, biggest mover of the race. Lee Campbell up 4. Trevor McManus making the pass there on Scotty Davis. Going to try and get back some spots here. Has a couple drivers in front of him of Kane and Jarrett running different lines. We'll see how McManus is able to, or if McManus is able to get through there. Dennis Kane staying low. It doesn't look like Matthew Jarrett is gonna clear Kane. Yeah, it looks like he cleared him, just nowhere really to go, as now he slides down. McManus is on the back bumper of Neal there. Neal into the wall, Jarrett into McManus, and McManus tries to save it, goes up into the field, but everybody's going straight, so that will not bring out a caution. Don't know how that didn't bring out a caution. But Jarrett kind of checks up a little bit. McManus goes to the high side. Neal. Oh. From initial look, it looked like maybe a little bit off of the 82. The 81 came back down, hit McManus, and that is what caused everything going on. And as we were watching that, let's see here. Andrew Teft is now lapping cars that were behind here. Got Matthew Jarrett, Kirby Wainscott going another lap down. But let's rewind and take a look at how Andrew Teft was able to get by. Oh, we didn't get the right one here. Andrew Teft just hanging just a little bit low. Yeah, kind of took away the line of the 72, got side by side and was able to drive away. We got, look here at what happened to Matthew Jarrett. Trying to stay out of the way of the leaders here. Yeah. Like he called it a night there. We'll have to see when Daniel Honeycutt's going to have to pit. Andrew Teff last pitted on lap 41. Brandon Puffenbarger, who was back in third, pitted on lap 48. But Honeycutt has not. But while they are racing here, we're going to step aside for our first commercial break. Once again, this is the Racers Elite Xfinity Series from Bristol, right here on Sim Racing Media. Welcome back, everybody, to SRM Racing Media Racers Elite Xfinity Series action from Bristol. Andrew Teft is leading the race. Got about 6 cars on the lead lap right at the moment. Brendan Puffenbarger out there as well. Last pit on lap 48. Daniel Honeycutt back in third, and he has not pitted at all. And he's still hanging tough up here. Alex Teft inside the top 5. P4 for that 43 Ford. Lee Campbell rounds out that top 5. 14 Chevy looking good tonight. Dennis Kane down on the inside, going to try and take the top 5 away. Kane's up 5 positions. The number 4 Ford is rolling well tonight. The 21 Toyota of Corey Crawwell is also trying to battle and stay towards the front here. And he's P7. He's got the third place guy and Daniel Honeycutt trying to get around him. We are going to have to be seeing somebody hit pit lane at some point in time. Trevor McManus, the dominant car early, made the pit stop and then just hasn't been able to get anything right since, as he had 2 incidents that didn't bring out a caution, but it well, one of them I would say probably should have, even though all the cars were kind of going in the same direction. But there was a stack of 4 or 5 that were bouncing all over the place. Dennis Kane in, Scotty Davis in, Kinsley Smith in as well. So unless I missed something, or timing and scoring missed something, Daniel Honeycutt has got to be getting close to running out of fuel or something here. Let's see if we can take a look inside of the cockpit of that 72 machine. Well, looks like he's just riding along there. Only had 1 retiree so far. Matthew Jarrett called it quits after 69.5 laps. Puffenbarger took advantage there of Andrew Teft and made the pass. Looks like Teft might have got a little bit loose. Let's see. Go back and take a look here. See how this pass happened. Oh, looks like Andrew just floated up a little bit more than he wanted to. Puffenbarger tried to take advantage down to the inside. Side by side for just a couple seconds. Puffenbarger passes him down the front stretch. And that is where we are right now. Four cars on the lead lap as Puffenbarger is closing in on more of the field right now. Dallas Teague up in the wall almost. We got Puffenbarger, Andrew Teft, Alex Teft, and Daniel Honeycutt all on the lead lap at the moment. It's a almost 9-second gap from first to fourth right now. Kirby Wainscott down pit lane one more time. Like Jarrett Larder's down pit lane as well. Okay, Honeycutt comes down. I was going to say, he has got to be pitting at some point in time. So Honeycutt drove it till he couldn't drive it anymore. But if say 111 laps with the cautions that we had are going to be the fuel run, everybody else is going to have to pit. I don't know that Daniel Honeycutt's going to have to. So another strategy call here in the Racers Elite Xfinity Series by Daniel Honeycutt, trying to make some time here. Honeycutt will exit the pits in P7. Ooh, Puffenbarger around sideways. Looks like Larder straightens him up there. Luckily, Puffenbarger has had a 9, almost 10-second gap on Alex Teft in second, so he's able to basically absorb that mistake and has to put it out of his mind, get back to driving the way he was driving before. And it looks like he has, as he is now headed to pit lane. Joshua Neal in as well. Alex and Andrew Teft, looks like they're staying out. Like Alex will get a point for leading that lap. Alex trying to give the 19 machine of Scotty Davis all he can, all the room he can. Daniel Honeycutt just threw down the lightning fast time of a 15:20 after making his initial pit stop on lap 110. He is still behind Puffenbarger. Puffenbarger pit on lap 117. And Puffenbarger's behind Trevor McManus, who pitted on lap 88. So Alex Teft stays out. Andrew Teft down pit lane. So we'll see how long Alex is going to try and hang out here. And the other thing, you lose so much time, especially when you're basically using one pit lane, because you have to exit or enter on the backstretch and drive basically all the way around the track before you get out of your pit lane. Alex Teft is still hanging out. Andrew Teft just in front of him. He made his pit stop and came out P6. You can see Puffenbarger behind Alex Teft. Puffenbarger closing in. Looks like Puffenbarger's going to go down to the inside, try and make that pass here, which is going to force Alex to stay out one more lap, whether he wanted to or not, as it forced him high. Puffenbarger got one of his laps back. Trevor McManus down pit lane. Gap between Alex and Brandon is 31 seconds, 31 and a half seconds right now. So just under a lap, or a couple laps there. It's 126 to 128. So still a couple laps down after making that green flag pit stop. So Alex has got to be hoping for a caution. Yep, down to just under 28 seconds here. Alex F slows down, gets down to pit road speed, and is going to make his pit stop here. So Huffenbarger is going to be your race leader. Daniel Honeycutt is right behind him, though. And Teft is about 12 seconds back. And Honeycutt is stuck behind Crowell and Dennis Kane, trying to find a way through. As when he went high, Crowell went high, and he tried to go low, and Dennis Kane was down there as well. So kind of slowed him down a little bit here. It's dealing with Corey Crowell here. Down to the inside goes Honeycutt. Honeycutt's going to make that pass and now have his sights set on that 5 machine up front. Trevor McManus gets right behind Honeycutt. McManus is a few laps down. Honeycutt's going to basically let him go. But 3 cars on the lead lap right at the moment. And McManus is sideways. He was able to save it, so we stay green, but he was slipping and sliding all over the track there. Yep, is now just about a second between Huffenbarger and Honeycutt. See how that's gonna manage out. Alex Teft, after waiting so long to make his pit stop, he is now the first car a lap down. Daniel Honeycutt's back down pit lane. Not sure on that one. But that leaves Brandon Puffenbarger and Andrew Teft as the only drivers on the lead lap right now. Working through lap 146, just completed. Starting 147 now is Puffenbarger. Daniel Honeycutt just out of pit lane. So he is now a couple laps down as well. He is behind Trevor McManus. Inslee Smith up high. And try and stay high as Puffenbarger goes by down on the low side. The Crawwall coming out of pit lane. Joshua Neal back here. Hagen. Looks like Crowell's able to get by Kane. But as these guys work their way through the last portion of this race, we're going to step aside for our second and final commercial break. Once again, this is the Racers Elite Xfinity Series on Sim Racing Media. Never mind. We're going to scratch that. We're going to see what happened here. See what happened to Daniel Honeycutt. Gets by Trevor McManus. All good and then oh, well, too fast. Entering the corner. So we'll see what's going to happen here as Alex Teft gets the lucky dog. Puffenbarger and Andrew Teft come down pit lane. Well, we've seen that that action happen multiple times here. It seems like after they make that pit stop, they get a little bit too much speed going into the corner, go to slow it down, and wind up spinning that back end. Luckily for Daniel Honeycutt there, he didn't really have anybody around him or anything around him as Trevor McManus was able to get by. Andrew Teft in pit lane. Alex Teft in as well. Like basically everybody coming to pit lane, except for the drivers who want that that wave around here. At least get one of their laps back. So we are stacked back up now. Still only 3 cars on the lead lap. Puffenbarger gets a huge jump. Andrew Teft back in second. Alex Teft is in third, but he has got some lap traffic in front of him to deal with. As everybody's kind of stacked together, it's going to basically come down to Puffenbarger and Teft for the next little while here. Teft seems to have a run and then has to kind of back it up just a little bit. But after these guys get settled down, looks like Scotty Davis is in pit lane. Andrew Teft, Alex Teft, like I said, is back a little ways here in the field. Looks like he has 4 or 5 cars around him. Daniel Honeycutt's going to try and make some quick work of the field, trying to get back through to get on the lead lap. First car a lap down is the 14 machine of Lee Campbell. As these guys are working through this, we're going to do what we started to do before that caution came out. Step aside. We'll be back once again. This is Racers Elite Xfinity Series. Ooh, Brandon Puffenbarger into that outside wall. Andrew Teft going to come down to his inside, going to make that pass here. Almost. We'll stay with the action here on track right now as these guys are going back and forth. Ding dong battle for the lead. Teft on the inside, Puffenbarger on the high side. Side by side they go down the front stretch. Puffenbarger gets a little better run coming off the corner, so he will take that spot. Andrew Teft jumps up behind him. And then he gets a run coming into turn 3 and 4. Kinsley Smith gets loose, almost takes out the leaders. He is trying to rein in that car. Daniel Honeycutt is not wasting any time, going to try and get by the 15 and get a lap back momentarily. He is lightning quick. Just found himself in a bad position, kind of like Trevor McManus. Wanted to work his way through the field as fast as possible, made a little mistake, and now he is paying for it. But as these guys have settled down, we're going to step aside. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. While we were away, we had a little bit of action going on track. Go back and take a look, see what happened to Andrew Teft here. Riding pretty good right behind Puffenbarger here. Like he carried a little bit too much speed, tried to check up just a little bit, and tried it again. It's like he got in those marbles, got spun around. Looks like nobody really hit him, but let's see here what happened with Honeycutt. Oh, got it. Oh, Neil got into the back of him. That's going to shake it up a little bit. 20 laps to go when we get the green flag. We have got 4 cars on the lead lap now. Puffenbarger and Alex Teft on that front row. Puffenbarger's down and away. Alex Teft's got that 43 Aflac Ford working pretty well today, up 3 spots from where he started. Andrew Teft in that 98 machine trying to recover after spinning it there with 25 to go. Andrew down to the inside of Alex, just not quite enough room to get his nose down in there. Looks like Alex is going to try and stay as low as he can, make his way around the track. The guy who would love to see another caution is sitting in 5th right now, Trevor McManus. After spinning a couple times, he is up into P5, gets loose again, up into that wall. Kinsley Smith is behind him on track, so he is feeling pretty safe right now in the position that he is. Going to have a top 5 for a while here. Alex Teft is using as much track as he can. Kinsley Smith is not going away in that high line, just kind of staying there. And basically relegating Alex and Andrew down to that bottom line. Kinsley gets into that outside wall, slides down the track just a little bit. As Andrew Teft slides up, gets loose. Alex Teft does the same thing. And that is going to bring out a caution. You can see the 15 bouncing in and out of the high line there, hits the wall, comes down the wall, almost hits the 43. 43 still okay. The 98 starts sliding up the track, kind of hits the brakes a little bit. Checks in with McManus there. Slides sideways. Luckily, Honeycutt's able to get around. And then the 43 does the same thing, basically runs right into the side of the 28. And the 43 gets spun around and stops right in the middle of the racetrack after getting spun up. Alex Teft goes down pit lane. Gonna get that 43 machine fixed up. We'll see what happens here. Trevor McManus was in the lucky dog spot, but I believe because he was involved in that caution there, I don't believe he's going to get that lucky dog spot. So lights are out on the pace car, but we still have four Xfinity cars on the lead lap, working their way to the green flag. They're going to take the green flag with 8 laps to go. Brandon Puffenbarger on the high side, Puffenbarger on the low side. Andrew Teft on the high side. Lee Campbell back in third on the low lane. Trevor McManus a lap down up high. Alex Teft, the only other driver on the lead lap, and he is back at the tail end here. About 3 seconds back of the leader. Pace car is in. Puffenbarger down and away. Lee Campbell gets a huge run behind him, but he is still out to half a second. Daniel Honeycutt trying to get some time back. Andrew Teft goes to the inside of Campbell. Puffenbarger pulls down. Don't know what happened to Puffenbarger. Puffenbarger's hitting pit lane. We're going to have to go back and take a look and see what happened. Six laps to go. Andrew Teft, Lee Campbell. Campbell's a half second back. Four laps to go. Andrew Teft leading by over a half second. Two to go. Andrew Teft has over a second lead. Just has to hit his marks, and victory will be his tonight. White flag in the air. Race is official. Racing back for checkers. Checkered flag in the air. Andrew Teft wins at Bristol. Lee Campbell, heck of a run there. Up 7 spots, finishes P2. Alex Teft inside that top 3. Have to go back here and take a look, though, and see what happened to Brandon Puffenbarger here. Here's the restart. Has a huge jump. I bet I know what happened. Let's go back and take a look once again. Take a look here. That's looks like he restarted right at the right time, but I mean, dang, that was a heck of a race there by Brandon Puffenbarger. Should have won the race. Got a black flag on the restart of the race, and it looked like he went right inside of the restart zone. But that's going to be tough luck for him. But let's see if we can get Alex up here. Alex, Mike in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, heck of a race there. I mean, it's Bristol. You were able to come away with a top 3 finish here.
Yeah, definitely had probably my best run this season. Always kind of had a good feel for this track. Definitely wasn't exactly a short run car, but before I had gotten turned or whatever happened, I still got to see the replay, but I felt I had a faster car at Puffenbarger at the end, but it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely it is what it is, but I mean, you qualified well, you ran pretty well. Really, there's only 3 cars left on the lead lap after Puffenbarger got that black flag on that restart, so not exactly the way he wanted the race to go, but you come out pretty good and got a pretty good point stay as well. I'm going to help you probably move into like 4th in the points here, so heck of a run. Anybody you want to thank before I let you go for your P3 finish today?
Yeah, no, I want to thank you guys over at Sim Racing Media for putting this on every week. Thank the league and all of our new recruits and everyone that come in all the time. Thank my girlfriend, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Definitely, man. Well, I will talk to you later. Congrats on your P3 finish.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Later.
All right. You got a new guy to talk to tonight. Let's see if we can bring up Lee. Lee, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Well, not too bad. Looks like you were able to work your way through the carnage and come away with a P2 finish here.
Yeah, we had some fast cars that looks like we're a little bit unlucky. Trevor was fast. Danny's fast. Andrew's always fast, and Alex was fast. I mean, it fell where it fell. I wasn't the fastest car out there by any means, but I'll take the 2.
Yeah, definitely you were running pretty well there. Had that caution come out, got you back on the lead lap, and you were able to take advantage on that final restart. Anything you want to say about the race, the season, or anything, since I believe this is the first time I got you up in the booth?
Yeah, I believe so. I think this is my 3rd race for these guys. It's a great league. Andrew does a great job. Yeah, it was just we had a pretty fast car, kind of kept it off the wall and spinning out and all that good stuff, and kind of ended up where we ended. I thought we were maybe top 5, but I didn't think it would be at 2nd place.
Definitely. Well, anybody want to thank before I let you go?
Hey, well, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate it. Thanks for Andrew for running the league. And yeah, that's it, man.
All right. Well, talk to you later, Lee.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. See if we can get Andrew up in the booth here. Andrew, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
In shock, I guess. I don't know. Nice to finally knock one of these off on a Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely. I talk to you a lot, but usually not the race winning type. I mean, you had a heck of a run there. We're able to come back after the little spin there. Luckily, you didn't collect anybody. It looked like we saw a few of those spins happen here and there, but overall, not too bad of a race for being Bristol.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Brandon got black flag there. He was killing me on the restarts, so I tried to restart in first, and that didn't go very well. But yeah, would have liked to battle it out with him. Yeah, I had a little bit of everything: short runs, a couple long runs, even a couple green flag pit stops, which I didn't expect. Yeah, good time.
Yeah, it definitely was. So your league is growing leaps and bounds every week. It seems like you get more and more guys in here. Guess I want to say congrats on that, and look forward to seeing where this league can go. But before I let you go, anywhere you want to thank or anything like that?
Yeah, I want to thank all the lappers for all the courtesy that they displayed tonight. Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, if anybody's interested in racing, just check out racerselite.com. You can find a Discord invite there. Message myself, Andrew, Dennis, or Alex. We'll get you all set up.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on the race win tonight in the Xfinity Series, and look forward to maybe talking to you later as well.
Yeah, thank you to everybody for coming out, and thank you to you.
Definitely. So that will do it once again for the Racers Elite League here. Had a heck of a run last night in the Truck Series at Auto Club. 75 green flag laps out there. Come to Bristol. Not too bad. 195 laps with a few cautions, but everything else was pretty clean. These guys will be back at it once again tomorrow night in the next gen cars. Let's go ahead and jump through the race results here. Andrew Teff was able to get that win. Lee Campbell, Alex Teft are the, I guess Lee Campbell and Andrew Teft are the only cars on the lead lap. Alex Teft had to make that pit stop at the end there. Trevor McManus in fourth, Kinsley Smith fifth, Daniel Honeycutt in sixth, Joshua Neal seventh, Dennis Kane eighth, Corey Crowell in ninth. Dallas Teague rounds out the top 10. Hard luck award definitely has to go to Brandon Puffenbarger getting black flagged at the end of the race. We went through and looked at it. You can judge for yourself, but looked like it was a pretty clean restart from what I saw. Scotty Davis up for 12th. Jarrett Larder, Kirby Wainscott, Matthew Jarrett all had a little bit of a rough time here at Bristol. But Bristol is over. We head to Kentucky next week to close out the regular season. We'll cut the field down to just the chase. I believe they're going to have 12 guys headed that direction, so we'll see how that changes the second half of the season, because had some guys that weren't here the whole season but have been dominated, like Trevor McManus. So we'll see if he's going to continue to dominate as they go through the season. But from everybody at the Racers Elite Xfinity Series and all of us at Sim Racing Media, I want to say good night, and we will see you next time.